Okay, let me make this clear. I am very, very quiet about my background. I don't discuss my background, my full history. Most of you are not going to be able to find my background. There are people in this industry who have dug it up. It's not a pride thing. It just is what it is.
He's going to claim the classified stuff, the CIA. There are no records of me.
No, I don't talk about my past because I used to work in intelligence. I worked in intelligence until I cracked under the stress from the PTSD, and then they terminated me and told me that if I ever talked about specifically what I did, that I would spend the rest of my life in prison. So yeah, I'm a little bit fucked up. I'm a little bit crazy.
Classified? Could be. You go on to kill bin Laden and things like that, that does not remove your name. Classified.
Pretty much.
Next time any of you hear anybody say, I can't tell you it was classified, take your finger and shove it in his eye as hard as you fucking can.
Because I can tell you how I would deal with it, but I can also tell you that the overwhelming majority of people, they do not have the background or the skill set to successfully stalk somebody, get away with it, dust their tracks, leave no alibi, leave no real forensic evidence, and how to set it up to make it look like somebody else did it with a completely different motive. They're emotional, they attack in anger. And if that's the case, you will get caught. So, I'm going to recommend that you do not try to go after this person. I actually know something about advanced interrogation techniques. I used to do snatch and grabs and interrogate people out in the field as a contractor years ago. Lie detectors are a tool that we use for various purposes. They're used by the intelligence community, they're used by law enforcement. If someone becomes a threat to me or people that I love, I make them go away. I'm not going to go into the details, but yes, I have killed armed men in my life. That's nobody's business. That's my own background. And it's not something I want to brag about or talk about. For all these guys who are veterans who are standing there still screaming about your valor, stolen valor, after what I just told you, that sounds like I'm stealing any of your valor, you know what? Fuck you, kid. You can go fuck yourself. I don't really care what you think. But I will tell you this. If you decide that you're going to come confront me physically about it, you better not be a fucking pog. You better be a stone cold killer. If you come at me aggressively, voice raised, negative body language as someone who I know is a trained killer. Because I don't flinch anymore when I hear a rifle round come by my head. When I hear that whoop and that snap of that sonic boom, I haven't flinched in 20 years from that shit. I got over that a long time ago. So if you come at me, I want you to know, son, it's not going to be me who goes in the ground. I'm still here. I'm still upright and drawing air.
This is bullshit.
And no, I was never in the military, but that doesn't mean that I didn't serve my country. That doesn't mean that I never risked my life for my country. It doesn't mean I never killed for my country.
Insist on a minimum of 10 years experience in high security areas, or people who are in special forces units, special law enforcement units such as tactical teams, hostage rescue teams, etc.
You want somebody generally coming from a military background or from a tactical background, because there's a lot of weapons use involved. The driving skills are different in that environment than they are in a city environment.
The Fitmisc crew have been in contact in the last couple of days on Facebook with Anna Blaha, the former wife of Jason Blaha. Messages with the following information have been received by Miss Blaha, which seem to undermine the truth of Jason's involvement in the military and as a private mercenary. The question asked, was Jason in the CIA, a mercenary, and has he killed a man? The astonishing answer received by Miss Blaha, and her response is as follows. No, he was not in the CIA or military, never killed anyone.
Because I know that you can't provide security that has the same level of training that I have. And for those who don't understand, I trained at the farm at Langley. Anyone who knows what that is knows what that means. You can't provide security capable of providing the security I can provide for myself. Non-negotiable.
The question was whether or not you actually knew of any company, legitimate company, that he would have been working under possibly 10 to 15 years ago, if that was specific.
He was working there 10 to 15 years ago. He was working in the warehouse. Well, he did work as a contractor for, I can't even think of the name of the company he worked for.
Do you know anything regarding the specific role? I take it that was...
He was a laborer.
So it was building work as opposed to soldier or mercenary work?
What kind of work?
Well, in the video we were sent, he claims to have been a mercenary, as in
a mercenary.
A mercenary, yeah, private security, as in performing.
No. He was working on compressors and engines.
So he was never intelligence.
Manual labor.
Oh, I see. Okay. Sorry, sir, because it sounds like this may well have been a bogus claim we've been sent, and I apologise for bringing you guys into this then, but it was because he specifically said on video that he was working, doing, and I quote, snatch and grab operations, which was a job that you had got him based on your previous background as a soldier. This was his words.
Well, that's not true.
No, I don't talk about my past because I used to work in intelligence. I worked in intelligence until I cracked under the stress from the PTSD, and then they terminated me and told me that if I ever talked about specifically what I did, that I would spend the rest of my life in prison. So yeah, I'm a little bit fucked up. I'm a little bit crazy. I was scouted out for certain types of work before I even finished high school. Again, due to my family, my upbringing, connections certain members of my families might have had, along with my shooting skills. Again, I was shooting very successfully at 1,000 yards as a teenager, well before I was an adult, in actual competitions. So it isn't far-fetched that I may have been offered certain types of employment at that point. And people keep saying things like, and particularly, again, like my ex-wife said all this, who, again, I don't know why anyone would think that my ex-wife has any sort of expertise on either the military or mercenaries when she did a paid interview. But people keep saying only mercenaries, only people who become mercenaries are people who were in the military, who were combat veterans. Look at what was going on in the mid and late 90s in the United States, nearby countries, and all around the world. What military veterans? What military veterans did we have in the 90s who would be willing to do large amounts of morally questionable work? The only veterans we had were from Vietnam, and those guys were getting really old at that point. And we had a very, very short engagement, a very, very short war in Iraq and Desert Storm that had a very limited number of troops, many of whom still hold on to ideas like honor and valor, with very little combat experience. There were no veterans, logistically speaking. Where were people going to get veterans to do the massive amount of exotic game hunting and similar work that was being done? Look what was going on in this country during the Clinton.